Shalom. I like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha-Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, preaching this word with truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, the true believers of the hopeful elect. Lord's willing, I'll be part of that number. Just coming back in the spirit and theme of prophecy. And I got a news article talking about a 15-minute city. You know, this is one of the goals of the global elite / government. So I'm gonna read it, get a couple of scriptures, and Lord's willing, this to be edifying. Alright, this is from the World Economic Forum. And it says the surprising stickiness of the 15-minute city. Actually, before I read that, just in case you don't know, it says a 15-minute city is an urban planning concept that aims to make most daily needs accessible within a 15-minute walk, bike ride, or public transit trip. The goal is to reduce car use and promote sustainable living, while also improving quality of life and community. So just in case you didn't know what a 15-minute city is, that's what the government plans on doing. Building a facility that all your necessities, all your needs is within a 15-minute walk, bike ride, or using public transportation like they say. It's just the global elites trying to fence everybody in and cause total control. I'm back to the article. It says, urbanism trends come and go, but the 15-minute city framing of walkable mixed-use urban development is a lot more than a fad. Hold on, let me cross the street. Yeah. Says the historical roots of the 15-minute city are connected deeply with the current moment one will be living for a long time to come. Says as climate change and global conflict cause shocks and stresses as faster intervals and increasing severity, the 15-minute city will become even more critical. Urbanism trends come and go. Broadacre city, radiant city, eco city. Yet the 15-minute city concept which implies having all necessary amenities within a short walk, bike ride, or public transit trip from one's home, has demonstrated stickiness not just as an idea but as a powerful tool for action. From Paris to Seoul, from Bogota to Houston. You see, so this is a worldwide concept. And I believe they already have a 15-minute city in the United States. I believe it's in Arizona, I believe. I'm not sure. I got to do more research on it. As a matter of fact, before I continue reading. Yeah, here you go. According to Google, quick Google search, the 15-minute city, it says here are some cities in the United States that are working on becoming 15-minute cities. You got Cedar Rapids, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. O'Fallon, Illinois, Cleveland, Ohio, Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Tempe, Arizona, and New York City, which is basically, I believe, Manhattan. They're working on a 15-minute city. So you see, the government is already working on it. It says, for long-time urbanists, the 15-minute city seems to merely repackage the historic urban pattern of development, walkable mixed-use districts, old wine, new bottle, as the saying goes. But for a new framing to ignite a global urbanism movement, clearly there's more going on. Yeah, this is part of their agenda. This is part of the global elite's agenda to box everybody in and have everybody conform to their one world system. The obvious yet incomplete answer is the pandemic. Would Paris's mayor Anne Hidalgo have pushed for progressive urban design without this framing? Undoubtedly. But with COVID-19 and its variants keeping everyone home or closer to home than usual, the 15-minute city went from a nice to have to a rallying cry. Meeting all of one's needs within a walking, biking, or transit distance was suddenly a matter of life and death. And that's how they're packaging it. They just want more control over the people. The pandemic created an urgency around equitable urbanism that sidelined arguments about bike lanes and other amenities that have roiled communities for years. Communities for years. The term was coined in 2016 by Sorbonne professor Carlos Moreno, who was given an Nobel Award in 2021 for developing the idea. The graph below comes from a Google Trend search of worldwide usage of the term. The peak in the middle is approximately November 15th, 2020. Yeah, so since 2016, they've been planning this 15-minute city. And probably before that. It says, when a new framing meets its moment, something more than a fad is emerging. Prior to the pandemic, few planners would have taken seriously the idea that home become the central organizing factor of all urban planning. Despite predictions of increased commuting, working from home remained an outlier. Indeed, work and commerce have always been the central organizing factors of urbanism from the post-agricultural revolution to the industrial and technological ones. Historically, most cities grew up around trade, which then developed into more permanent places of commerce. Cities reduce transportation costs for goods and people by bringing them closer together. By reducing these costs, cities increased productivity and thus further evolved the city as a multiplier of cultural innovation. More than a century after the adoption of automobiles as the dominant mode of transportation, work still dictated urban geography with increasingly longer commutes. Suburbia, the antithesis of this 15-minute city, couldn't exist without proximity to an economic urban engine. I mean, yeah, so they're definitely moving forward with that agenda. But who wants to be stuck in a place where all your needs is met between a walk and a bike ride? As many people that have cars, especially in New York. You know, within the 5 boroughs. Speaking about New York, the 5 boroughs. Let me see. Oh, here's a map Or here's not a map, a graph, rather. I guess this is how a 15-minute city would look from your home. You just walk, and everything is from a walk's distance or a bike ride. But that's just total control, man. Anytime the government implements or suggests an idea, you best believe it's not for your benefit. It's for your detriment. This is not to convenience you. This is to control you. Anyway, let me get a couple of scriptures. Let's see what I was going to... I forgot what scripture I was going to get. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, now I remember. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai, the water. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai. There's the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. And you see the subheading, it says, woe to oppressors. It says, woe to them, woe meaning destruction. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence. This is what Esau, the so-called white man, has done. And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's what they're doing with these 15-minute cities. If you search on I believe it's Google or YouTube, you search the 15-minute city in China, and you have to have face recognition, I believe, and palm scanning in order to move around in that 15-minute city. That's who the U.S. is trying to emulate China. Because those heathens, they'll go along with anything that their government says. There's a communism over there. The U.S. is a fascist. To me, is a fascist communism. But what's that called? The U.S. is a fascist communism, but they hide behind democracy. I mean, they give you the illusion that you have a choice, and that your vote counts. All of that is false. Presidents aren't elected; they're selected, and you learn about that in grade school. With the Electoral College. I don't know if they still teach it, but that's where you learn. That's where I learned it from. Electoral College and the delegates pick the president. But Americans, your regular American is not thinking about what the government is trying to do to its people. It's like they're still asleep. It's not like they are still asleep. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. And this is talking about America. Spiritually Sodom for the Moism and the homosexuality, and Egypt for the bondage. Like it tells you in the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter, how Egypt is the house of bondage. America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And the dead bodies is talking about the Israelites, how they're dead from the neck up. Like it says in Proverbs, the 21st chapter, that he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. They're dead from the neck up. They have no acknowledgement of who they truly are. We get another precept. As a matter of fact, yeah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24. I start at 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth, here's the point. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Yeah, and that's what you're seeing. The earth is defiled because these people have broken the everlasting covenant and changed the ordinances of it. The world of the earth was supposed to be governed by the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and is supposed to be ruled over by His only begotten Son, whose name is Yahweh Shai. And because that's not happening right now, you see that the world is out of course. Like it tells you in the book of Psalms, the 82nd chapter. The whole earth is out of course. You got men being women, women being men. The kids are unruly and rebellious because we're not following the law, statutes, and commandments. It's all because of that. This is staying in the book of Isaiah 24, going down to verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. That's what's going to happen in the 15-minute city. And to be honest, we might not even get to that. The Lord may return. World War III might pop off, and this place get nuked before the 15-minute cities become a success. Because the global elite, Esau's trying to do that around or across the 50 states. Says there's crying for wine in the streets, wine being the philosophy. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Yeah, as you can see, there's no more mirth in America. Ever since that pandemic hit, there's been no mirth. And you see, right around the time when that pandemic hit in 2020, that's when they were talking about the 15-minute cities, the most. I believe they said it was in November. So America's through, man. You know? Matter of fact, let me get one more precept before I close. Been getting this a lot. This is Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Yeah, and you got, if you know, when you got a cut, you put some Neosporin or some hydrogen peroxide or alcohol on it to heal it. You know, stop the infection. And that's what the government was doing in America. You know, giving stimulus checks and bailout reforms. You know, trying to stop the bleeding of America. But it's not. But like it says in the 9th verse, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah. The Lord is judging America. That's why you see all these quote unquote natural disasters have taken place. You know, these hurricanes, these earthquakes. You know, some of them is caused by Esau, some of them not. You know, that's the speculation on that, but that's another topic for another lesson. So, the Lord is clearly visiting and judging this place. And it's a beautiful thing. But Lord's willing, you was edified. Till next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect.